I am Rodrigo Sáez Muñoz. I am the Director General of Worlddidac, and I'm here with Mr. Jun Zheng. Jun, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Doctor. My name is Jun Zheng. I'm the Managing Director of Speexx China. We've been in the business communication and education market for over 30 years. We've been operating more than 15 years here in China, and very happy and honored to be invited to have today's conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Jun. Speexx is a long-term member of the Worlddidac Association. You are also a very active member, one who has supported us through the difficult moments of COVID, and you continue having a tremendous intellectual impact on us. And that's something we really appreciate, because we as an association are only as strong as the commitment that our members provide to us. And as we are about to embark on Worlddidac Asia, which this year will be taking place from September 17th to the 19th in Hangzhou, China, I think it's important for our members and the greater community out there to get an understanding of why now is the best time to enter the Chinese educational market. It would be awesome if you were able to provide us some background information about China's educational system and what are the recent changes and shifts in China's educational focus that makes this such an important moment for the international educational providers and solutions to enter the market. Please, I would love to learn a little bit more. And you're certainly the expert to have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, it's a very good timing, September to come to China, because that is the best season of the year to see how China, or what China looks like. Now, talking about the Chinese education market, why now is the best time for international education providers to enter the Chinese market? I think everyone knows that we've been experienced a tremendous difficult time during the COVID time. And since 2022, after the lockdown period of time, I think the Chinese society is now getting ready for the next move into the next level of the market. So I would say the first factor for the international education providers to come to China is the post-COVID reopening. And it is different from the previous policies. We have much more clarified policy ready in place. In 2022, the government actually released quite a few policies in order to encourage and advocate the international cooperations between Chinese education institutions with international universities, institutions, or companies. After 2 and 3 years, put in place, those policies either have been already, supported by successful cases, such as universities, Newcastle set up a university in Suzhou, with starting 200 students. Now they are expanding into almost 8,000 students. The second factor that I believe for the international education providers to come to China is that regulatory clarity has been further, verified with facts. I used to be asked by my international friends who are interested in coming to China, such as how many days will it take until they get approved with business certificate, right? And you see, I'm in Shanghai, so everything we do business with, involvement of the local authorities can be carried out by just a simple click on the internet. So the internet or the app provides everything that you need to know, everything that you need to prepare. As long as all the documents are listed and provided, I think within 3 to 5 work days, you will get your immediate feedback, whether you will be approved or not. If you're not get the green light, they will give you specific reasons why, what kind of materials is missing, or what kind of certificate you need to provide. So that is much more transparent to everyone who are interested in doing business in China. That's the second factor that I would like to say. The third one is that with upgrade of industrial that we have, we used to be a labor, condensed, labor-focused industry country, but with the recent relief of DeepSeek, for example, and the Unitary, the robotic development, we've seen and we are actually experiencing the upgrade of the industry that creates a skill gap, a critical skill gap, moving those labor-focused industry into the innovation-oriented or innovation-driven industry, for which we will need high-quality, vocational trainings, for example, to really focus on how we can develop our labors into the next level of talents. This creates a tremendous need for high-quality educational programs here in China. Well, the fourth reason is that we believe out of this 1.4 billion populations that China has, we have roughly 300 million middle class, which is almost at the same size as the population of the whole United States. Imagine those middle class with the growth, with the success continues growing into the next decade or 2 decades, they will need tremendous high-quality education programs for themselves, for their kids, and for their job development. That creates a tremendous potential of the growth of education market here in China. The fifth part is the support from the government. No matter it is from the tier 1 cities, a city like Shanghai with over 26 million populations here in China, and Beijing, Guangzhou, those like tier 1 cities. We also have those like cities like Chengdu, like Chongqing, Changsha, the second tier cities. They also move into the government approval, government enhancement to have more and more high quality education programs for like kids, for adults, for vocational trainings. At that part, you can get some incentives or tax reductions, or even give you like for example, free office spaces for 3 years as a way to help companies operating in local. And the sixth part is, of course, last week we got this super high popular KOL from the United States. I think he got like 36 million subscribers on the internet. And then with all, he's doing the live streaming for 6 hours in Shanghai without any disruptions. I would say the digital infrastructure and internet infrastructure has laid a very good fundamental, conditions doing business here in China and across the borders. And we also have the AI, we have the facial recognition, we have the big data, and we have like digital analytics tools in place. All these tools or developments that are in place will further help international companies either to expand their business within China or like successfully exchange the business information between China and outside China. Last one, but not the least, is that we are more than welcome to the international providers, because with those like international players into China, they not only bring in the FDI, foreign direct investment into China, but also they're bringing a high-level management skills, which will be more than welcomed from the government, from the industry, from the business itself to improve, to help the Chinese education market here. Well, all those reasons given, I believe that currently is the best time for the international education vendors or providers to come to China. And to put it short, I would say China used to sell services, goods to outside China, to the world. But with recent development, we see the buying power is growing into a level which very likely that for the next 2 decades, the China gradually will buy from the world. So if you now set up company or business partnerships in China, you are closer to your competitors, to the future buyers in the world.
Thank you, Jun, for that incredible insight. It really is, in my opinion, and I have been fascinated by China since I was 15, 16 years old. And I began reading some of the classics of Chinese literature. I'm delighted that we're at this point. When you start out with a population base of 1.4 billion, of which in excess of 300 million are people who are solidly middle class to the standards of Europe, to the standards of North America, the capacity to consume is tremendous. But more importantly, I would say that unlike many other cultures, the Confucian tradition of valuing of education creates a significant level of opportunities for education solution providers, whether they're from primary or secondary or tertiary education, but also for the technical and vocational aspects. There are opportunities for everyone. Even a fraction of a percentage market share is of tremendous size. And the linguistic and cultural differences that once upon a time kept us apart are no longer there.
No. Yeah, thank you for this noticing this. Actually, well, we noticed that this year, according to the statistics telling us that by June this year, we're expecting that all close to like 10 million university graduates going into the labor market. And it will continue for the next 3 to 5 years due to the high quality education. And most of those like graduate students, they finished their scientific training, but in order to help them to go into the real life workplaces, the government, the private sectors, as well as the education market itself are providing tremendous training programs, helping those university students either on their like third year, fourth year to give them that on-job training, give them a lot of like trainee programs, but also after their graduations, they can apply for some sponsorships from government or from their employers to get well-trained. And that creates, imagine 10 million people going into this direction for the next 3 to 5 years. It is like obvious market potential for the international employment next year. So that is all supporting the point that you're saying that currently the best time for companies to come to China.
Jun, I've also been reading Mr. Xi Jinping has also designated technical and vocational education and enhancements, lifelong enhancements of the workforce as being a national priority, not just universities, but also technical colleges, technical secondary schools. So the expected influx of young people and people returning for reskilling is going to be tremendous. But beyond that, I think there's a very large number of scholarships for international students to come to China and to receive technical and vocational training. So the universe of opportunities is extremely exciting because much of that is going to be the type of training that coincides with international standards, which is the direction that China is looking to move into.
Definitely. I totally agree with what you just said. First of all, we noticed that with the upgrade of the industry, manufacturing mainly, we used to, fix the problems of like gas autos, right? But recent EV car development in China creates a lot of opportunities for upgrade of the skill set. So you used to fixing the motor, really using the gasoline, right? Nowadays, it is time to diagnosis whether an EV car gets some problem, either with this battery problem or braking problem or other kind of control. That is totally different. So we are producing so many cars, but there are a few people who knows where is the problem. That's why for those technical vocational training programs, definitely it's a huge potential. On the other hand, China is outputting quite a lot of exporting quite a lot of like goods, services to the world. And that must support it with talents who understanding the culture in local, but also speak languages. And just to think about that, one road, one belt, or we call it one belt, one road initiatives. Now, towards the Eastern Europe, Middle Europe, the African, all those like exporting will require international alignment of the standards. Not that the Chinese companies are trying to join their employees with the familiarity of the international conditions, international rules, but also trying to localize what they've been so successful in China in the targeted countries, in destination countries like Thai, like Vietnam, like, South Africa. But a lot of Chinese engineers, they actually receive in China with international service providers before they actually departed to the destination country. That creates the two, I would say, dual opportunity for education.
Wonderful. Jun, I know you're a busy man. Thank you for giving us time. I would love to invite you to continue this series of conversations moving forward. And I invite all our members to join us in Hangzhou in September. And we can have coffee, break bread together, and discuss, and get to really understand China.
Yeah, great. I'm going to have the best green tea.
Thank you, Jun.
So
talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.